The Glen Oaks Village Co-op in eastern Queens is one of many residential developments throughout the city, facing stiff fines if its emissions are not reduced by next year in order to comply with the city's new climate laws. The legislation, known as Local Law 97, goes into effect in January, and it aims to drastically reduce building emissions by 80% by the year 2050. Nearly 70% of the city's greenhouse gas emissions come from buildings, and city lawmakers say that reducing them will help in the fight to stop man-made global warming. While most modern buildings will meet the 2024 requirements, many older condo and co-op buildings such as Glen Oaks Village will not, since the expansive 110-acre facility hasn't carried out major retrofitting like converting its 96 gas and oil powered boilers to electric systems. Bob Friedrich, who is the board president at Glen Oaks Village, said that for the co-op to be in full compliance, the development would have to go full electric by ripping out all of its working boilers and putting in an electric heating system. The project would require the entire development, which was built in 1947, to be rewired, and the cost would approach $50 million, or about $20,000 per unit.
The money is not there. We cannot afford Local Law 97. It's going to bankrupt the community.
Friedrich said the co-op would be fined $394,000 each year starting in 2024 if no work is done, which would jump to $1.5 million per year in 2030 and continue to rise.
In aggregate, if you add all those fines up, that would add up to about $38 million in fines. So this is crazy what Local Law 97 is doing. We have an affordable community here. This is really the last bastion of affordable housing where you can buy an apartment here for $250,000, $300,000. This is the definition of what affordable housing is, and now the city is coming in and trying to destroy it, trying to destroy the goose that lays the golden egg, this beautiful community of affordable housing. This is insanity run amok, and it's really putting a lot of people in stress because they don't know what they're going to do. Some of our residents here, they're very nervous, and it keeps board presidents like myself up at night thinking about the condition that city council are putting their constituents in. I mean, these city council members are supposed to be caring for their constituents, but yet they're trying to bankrupt our communities.
One of those constituents is longtime Glen Oaks Village co-op owner Arlene Bett, who lives alone and suffers from physical disabilities and severe depression. Her main source of income is her disability allowance, and she said she has very little disposable income to pay for higher maintenance fees that would come with fines or upgrades.
I'm terrified. I am 100% terrified. The thought of it just gives me anxiety. My depression is getting worse right now because of it and the unknown, the uncertainty of what's going to be. I'm very concerned. I'm very upset about what's going to happen to my life. I've been on disability for over 20 years, so I'm on a very fixed income. I can afford my bills now. If Local Law 97 goes into effect with the penalties and everything that they're asking of us, I'm going to have to give up certain things in my life.
Beth said she would have to forego her gym membership and even her car in order to pay for the upgrades.
I know it sounds kind of vague or funny that I'm giving up my health and my gym membership and things like that, but for my physical and mental health, it's very important that I have that. I suffer from severe depression. So being at the gym helps me physically and mentally. I've also had a lot of spinal injuries and spinal surgeries, so I can't really just give that part of my life up, and I'm going to be forced to.
Beth said she feels co-op owners are easy targets.
They're targeting the middle class. Glen Oaks is a community of diverse population age-wise, diverse population race, religion, etc. Middle class is definitely what this is. To own an apartment here is about $200,000 to $300,000, depending on the size of the apartment, as compared to a house, which is, we're talking, hundreds and hundreds of thousands to millions. We share our heaters and boilers, which an individual family home does not, so that's why they're being exempt.
Meanwhile, Friedrich said the city is advising co-ops to take out hefty loans for the upgrades.
I'm an accountant. We don't need more debt. That's a recipe for disaster. Most co-ops are already maxed out in their debt. You can't add more debt. You're just creating financial instability. So there are no answers right now. Now we're asking them to rethink the penalties, to perhaps reduce the penalties if a co-op can show that they're making a good faith effort. That's not in the law currently. So currently we're asking the City Council to pass Intro 913, which would create a 7-year delay on this, so we can rethink the one-size-fits-all algorithm. We can rethink how the penalties are done. We can rethink this whole local law 97, so it would make sense. And also would give co-ops time to naturally transition into more energy efficient boilers. But right now, this takes effect in 2024. It's an absolute disaster, and it's going to create unaffordability here in the city. It's going to push a lot of people out of the city.
Visit amny.com for special coverage on Local Law 97.